We traveled to this farm town on a mountain. A couple times we thought the bus was going to get stuck, and we traveled there because there was a few kids and their family that in May, they were kicked out of their home because during the pandemic they couldn't work anymore, they couldn't afford rent, so they had to move out of Ayacucho. Their grandmother had a piece of land up on this farm. They were staying there under a tarp, 13 of them were living under a tarp. And they had reached out to Lolly, said, is there anything they can do? And Lolly reached out to us, said, can you provide a shipping container for these people to live in? And a shipping container just did not sound like a great idea, but we said, yeah, sure, we can do that. And they started to work on it. How can we get a shipping container up this building, this mountain? And it just was not going to work out. It just didn't seem safe, and it just was not a good idea. So then we partnered with Compassion International, half and half with them, and our two organizations came together and built a home for this family. And it wasn't an extraordinary home by any means, concrete floors and walls, but the kid was just smiling at all the pictures saying, I've got my dream house, because he had his own room. So we wanted to come see the home and meet the kids, and so we went all the way up the mountain, and they did everything they could to this home to make it unique. I've never seen so many uses for tires. The front steps were tires, the planters were tires, the swing set was tires. They were so creative and innovative in this home process to make it feel like home, not just a shelter, not just a place, a house, but a home. I knew we were providing the meals, but I didn't think that that they were going to deliver food outside of Ayacucho, because that's a lot of traveling, and the volunteers don't have cars. They have to travel by taxi or bus. So I was asking the dad, I said, so what do you do for a living? He's like, well, we haven't worked since the pandemic. I haven't worked in 9 months. I said, I just thought, how in the world, how in the world can you live that long with all their little kids? And I said, how do you eat? Not knowing the answer. And he looked at me and he pointed at me. He said, from the meals that you have provided. And I just kind of spiraled in my mind. I had no clue that this organization, we've been feeding a family for 9 months. It's literally the only thing that they can eat. The only way that they can eat was through this care package that we've been sending, and they've been surviving on that for 9 months. I had no clue that I was talking to one of those families, and it just hit me so hard. And we went to some other houses up there that Panda Vita's been delivering food for, and we prayed for them and prayed blessings over them. We blessed them financially, which is not something that we always do. We don't feel like handing out cash is usually a great solution in these situations, and we don't want them to view us that way. But this was an odd moment during the pandemic and all that, and we were the hands and feet of Christ, and we were right then and there, and we had money to help them. We didn't know how they were going to eat, and so we did bless them financially. Seeing the struggles and seeing the gratitude and despair and just all these different emotions happening at the same time was really impactful. We've traveled a lot. We've seen a lot of things, and just seeing what this pandemic has done, the economic issues and the health issues and the fear issues and all these things, it's not anything that we've seen before.